Good evening, everyone, and thank you for coming again to Deb Chanel's 48th World, where we do recaps and reviews on reality shows and soap operas. Okay, right now we're going to be recapping and reviewing The Young and the Restless for Thursday, April 28th, 2016. Again, that's The Young and the Restless for Thursday's episode, April 28th, 2016. Just a little summary that they're giving us to head up this episode. They're stating Billy makes a power move. Nick confronts Victor, and Sage learns the truth about Christian. Okay, the first scene goes into Nicholas and Dylan. Dylan is getting advice for a 2-hour trip that he's gonna be with. I guess Faith's about 4 or 5 years old, or 5, 6, and he's gonna be traveling with his son, or he thinks that it's his son, 5-month-old baby Sullivan, who's teething. Nicholas starts to tease him and tell him, "Ooh, you got a mess on your hands, honey." "Ooh, yes, you do." But he's only joshing him in a sense, making fun of him. He don't see anything. He don't see any real thing getting in the way of them having a safe and viable trip. He says Faith is a good big sister. She will keep him entertained. And just long as Sharon has the teething medicine and this, that, and the other, and get him real fed, make sure he's dry, you should have no problem with getting him there. So he's like, okay, brother, thank you for telling me now. Okay, but it was all fun and games with them. Then Victoria storms in the office and interrupts the two. She comes in the office and says, her father is trying to steal her baby, or somebody's just trying to steal her baby. She know her father's behind it though, and they go looking at her like, what? And when you give birth to something, don't necessarily in our society now, meaning we're talking about children, it can be the upstart of you being an entrepreneur and you having your own business. So you have to take that with a lot of care and nourish it and watch it grow with the right elements that you give it to sustain growth. So she was really hot, pissy mad about that. And that was her first company that she solidified in her own name and her own rights, called Brash and Sassy. So I vaguely remember that startup company, but I think it was in the late 80s or something like that. But somebody can tell me and refresh me on it, or if someone has clips out there, I would love to go see one episode at least when she's going over her new her new baby company that I believe her father helped her start it off with. Then we go back to where Sharon comes back into the room and she finds Sage holding baby Sully, saying, pretty much sharing the jig is up. I know about all of what you know, pretty much. And then both women just start to go into it with each other, saying this, that, and the other. And woo, Sharon is trying to make a plea to let her keep the baby because she's thinking about Dylan having to have to face that she lied to him about his first baby being lost, and this, that, and the other. And I'm thinking to myself, well, my God, did she go in there pregnant? Did she get pregnant and she just stayed there 9 months? I mean, I'm not understanding where she get to have a baby anyway. But as y'all do know, recapping from yesterday, we knew that what's his name, Nurse Stevens had owed Dr. Anderson a big favor, this, that, and the other, and what Dr. Anderson wanted for her to do was to take Sage's baby, make like it died, bring the baby over to Fairview, and they were going to give it to Sharon. So Sharon's defense in all of this is that she didn't know. She kind of had an inkling that something wasn't right, but She didn't think too much into it. You know, she just like, hey, if I keep the secret, then it's okay. I can watch Sage, my best friend, uh, wife of my brother-in-law, just pretty much lose her mind, and hopefully she'll have another baby and she'll forget about a Christian. But she knows how the drill goes. You don't forget about your baby, not one that you definitely had in your belly the whole 9 months versus the one you may have had just a couple of weeks. You don't forget about those things, Sharon. What is wrong with you? And so, pretty much, she calls, excuse me for yawning, guys. I've been up 12 hours and I'm tired. But anyway, she pretty much says, just horrible things. Sage calls her a monster, and Sharon just can't give up the baby because she don't want to see herself as failing. Plus, she already told Dylan, well, she didn't tell Dylan she had a miscarriage, and but I'm like, Sharon, he gonna be ready to prosecute you because what you're doing, baby, is you're holding on to something that's not yours, and you legally did it yourself. You took upon yourself to have a DNA test done on the baby. So I'm like, come on now. Talk to me. Talk to me. Because what you're saying now is total foolishness. And it's like you're definitely disassociated yourself with reality and back into your fictitious world. Because I don't think you're not even thinking about this woman lost her baby, which she really didn't, and she's been separated from her baby for 5 long months. I mean, come on, give up the jig behind. She go and grab that baby, and she hold on to that baby for dear life. And so, of course, Sage did the right thing. She wasn't finna fight with Sheriff. So we go from that scene. We go to Victor. Victoria and Abby. Victoria's hot, pissed and mad because she's trying to figure out how are their stocks going down unless somebody's purchasing them and giving them up and taking a hit that way for their stock or their proxy. And of course, Victor Newman is behind it all. But Victoria goes on to call Abby to see if there's some indiscretion here, and she goes on to ask Abby, did what happened to her shares? Did she sell her shares? Or, she's just asking, about financial statistics and stuff. And then at first she don't want to tell her. But then she said, what the hell? She gonna find out anyway. So she goes on to tell her that she sold her stocks to her dad. And so that pisses Vicky off. And then Abby brings her back to reality. Like, hey, you trying to jump on me? That's the last thing I'm thinking about is money. People buying up somebody's company or your company. I just lost a baby here, and I'm fooling with this demon seed child. Come on, cut me some slack. So, with that being iterated to Vicky, she apologized to her and said, "I'm sorry, I'm a horrible sister. I know I had no business calling you, telling you about that, this, that, and the other." So that's pretty much where they go. With that, we leave them. We go to Dr. Gates and Victor. And of course, Victor done got caught using a telephone. I guess he was calling his stockbroker or his henchman, saying, these transactions between my wife, Nikki, and my daughter, Summer, are going to be making some changes. And I think I got my son, well, I know he's not my son, but Billy Abbott going to do some things with me. So that is a hot, pissy mess they got going on. A war of the Newman versus the Abbott clan. Anyway, stocks are being sold, proxies are being shared out to other people, and that's pretty much where we go. But with Victor, he's talking to Dr. Gates, trying to get her feel on what type of relationship she has with her father, really. And she goes on. I don't know why everybody feel like they can talk to Victor about everything, but she was getting on him at first about being so cruel and mean to his daughter. Because he even confided in her saying, hey, my family put me in jail, and I was just trying to look out for the good of the company and for them. But my daughter Victoria, she betrayed me. So now I'm getting even, and she's going to have to deal with the consequences. The chips are going to fall wherever they may, and it's not going to fall and hurt me. It's going to crush her. But to each his own. She started it. I'm going to finish it. So we move on from there because we have a commercial. We come back. We have the scene back at Max and Abby. Max go talk to him on the outside, letting him know, well, not the outside, but you know, they're in Crimson Lights and they're out there by the jukebox in the patio area. And she goes on to tell Max, look at here. I know you probably didn't mean to hurt me, or then again, maybe you did. But guess what? I'm still here. Yes, you had an opportunity to have gotten rid of me and the baby. You only got rid of one of us. And she's basically like going in on this child like it ain't nobody's business. And I'm all there for it. Scare the little joker. Scare him into admittance of the truth so they can get some help for him. Because I'm telling you, he's Satan's son incarnate. I'm telling you, the boy is a demon. But anyway, we go from there. And, you know, because pretty much he running the hell away from Abby. He ain't got no dealings with her because he know what's really going to come up. So we go to Billy. And Jack, Phyllis, and Billy are at the athletic club. Of course, where else are they going to go? They don't never go nowhere else. Because they used to have a restaurant back in the day called Gina's. And Rob Melody. And I don't know what happened to her. But I got to go catch up on that too. Danny too. All of them gone. That's back in the 80s and the strong 90s, early 90s when they were getting it going around here. But anyway, they partaking of the athletic club and their club amenities as well as their hotel suites amenities. And I guess they're partaking of their restaurant as well. Go figure. But anyway, they're meeting, and pretty much Billy seems like an outcast, mainly because Jack is treating him that way. And he's like, what the hell? Y'all just doing me any kind of way. I don't really feel like we're family anymore, or not at this time. And he's pleading with Jack to sell his shares of the Jabot company that was given to him by his father. But, he don't, Jack's not treating him right. Ashley ain't seeing nothing for him. So he's like, what the hell? I'll go jump ship. But anyway, I need my money. So, they kind of talking around here and there. And Billy gets tired. So he just ups and leaves. And then Phyllis and Jack have their little sidebar conversation about, am I doing the right thing? What am I doing? Of course, Phyllis like, search it out for yourself. If you come up with an answer that you knew I would tell you was the right answer, then you know you're being selfish. And it doesn't make no sense. So, we leave from there. We go to Dr. Gates and Victor. Victor is telling Dr. Gates to pretty much confide in him about her father and brother and, how it made her feel, honey. She gets in there telling Victor her every song and dance when it came to her brother and her father. So she knows where her weakness is, which is her brother, but he's dead. He died in prison. So I guess that's why she has such a heart spot for Victor. Plus, when her daddy was good in her eyes, he kind of may have favored or mimicked some of his mannerisms that she's fond of because, the love for her father. Anyway, she goes on to spill the beans. She's very emotional. She starts crying. So at least Victor has a clue of where he can start trying to break her down and, I guess get closer to her. So maybe she would talk with her father, who's like the gatekeeper to the outside world of prison. So I don't know how he's calculating that, but I'm pretty sure he started his first session with her today. So, and then she go on to tell him, I'm still going to report you to the guards because that was a violation. I'm like, oh, ain't that something? She's nice, nasty. But anyway, we move on. We go to Sully. Baby Sully and Sharon. Sharon is telling, basically, she's, let me see. She's basically having the conversation also with Sage because Sage is there. She's saying she had the baby for 4 months. Or 5 months, she should have said. And the baby has really been hers, and he's been at peace. Sage goes on to tell Sharon she overheard her telling Mariah, which is Sharon's adopted daughter, where she used to be casting. Y'all, it's a whole big. We ain't going there. But anyway, she overheard her telling Mariah that she had lost her baby prior to entering in Fairview. So she wasn't pregnant before she got there at Fairview because she had a miscarriage. So there's no way in the world she could have been pregnated, um, during that stay. So she knew the jig was up and she had somebody else's baby. Whether she knew about they were going to give her a baby or not, she ended up with her baby and she wanted the baby back. So they kind of get fussing and, she just wants to basically get her baby and get out of there. But Sharon done took the baby out the playpen, child, and she's hooked straight up with the baby. And they Sage don't want to call no mishap with the baby, especially when she's trying to get them back. So she said, "Okay, you're gonna act that way, fine, so be it. I'll get the real father involved with this, and then we'll be back. You can best assured we're gonna be back." So we leave that situation. We go to Victor and Nicholas. Victoria's on the phone talking to her mom. Lord, her mom done sold her proxy to somebody in the name of saving face with Victor Newman. And, she wants to get mad at her mom, but she knows her mom is a recovering alcoholic. She knows her mom is going to always, more than likely, like 99.99% on side with her father, Victor, because she's still in love with the man. That's her one-time, lifetime dream of a man. And she's had many marriages between him and her, between the both of them, really. She still ends up needing and wanting him. So pretty much that was just a lost thing. She just needs to confirm that her mother was a traitor as well. So we go back to Dr. Gates and Victor. Dr. Gates has just finished wrapping things up, and like I said, prior to her leaving, she definitely is going to write him up for the phone call that he didn't ask her to partake of. He was just on it when she walked in the room, and that is a big no-no at that particular prison as far as their rules and regulations. Then we leave there. We go to Max and Abby. They're still at Crimson Lights. Abby is telling Max she knows he did something to make her fall. Max runs to Ben like a little bitch, and Abby shows up shortly after he leaves her to confirm that basically, yeah, she told him. Why is everybody concerned about him grieving and this, that, and the other? For what? What is he grieving for? He didn't mess up anything. He didn't miss nobody. Max don't like me. Max want to kill me, and he definitely got away with killing my baby, and I'm definitely gonna make sure he pay for it. And she pretty much like, yeah, I said I made him run in here. I ain't make him run, but I made it uncomfortable. I want him to tell me the truth, so we can definitely get him some help, because what he's doing around here is not healthy for himself or anybody that's around him, especially me. And then he might even think about getting rid of Ben if he becomes an obstacle in his way, if it's something that he wants. And that's basically what she's trying to tell Ben. Something ain't right with that kid. I know it's his, but he ain't getting no thorough check on him. He ain't getting no mental checkup on him or see if he had one in the past or what really happened to his mama. Those things of that nature. Ben just slack. I don't know what's wrong with Ben. But anyway, he makes it adamantly, meaning Max, that he is not going to stay with Abby at the house or their house. He wants to go somewhere else where he feels is safe and this, that, and the other. And again, Ben bends down and gives him what he wants. I mean, who does that? What? I mean, it's the kids running the world now? I thought the parents still had the control, but I guess not. Hell. But anyway, he goes on and tells Abby with just facial expressions that they will talk about this in the morning. But right now, he's going to tend to the only son that he has in this world right now. And right now he's believing him, and he wants to pretty much secure him and his feelings, and that's where it is. But he don't know that troll of a boy, that monster, as Ashley put it so eloquently, demon seed, what I go with. He gonna learn, because he even looking strange when he finally gets to the hotel and Ben's trying to check them in for a room. I'm like, no, you better sleep with one eye open, Ben. You better sleep with one eye open, friend. But anyway, we leave there. We go back to Sharon and Sage. Sharon is telling Sage she didn't know. She just recently found out about it. And Sage was like, well, you weren't trying to tell nobody about it either. And she's like, you don't understand. I just can't have for my husband to go through another loss. And she said, yes, I am. What about my loss? What about my husband, your ex-husband? What about his loss? And it's not a loss. You over here just babysitting our baby, and that's supposed to be our baby that we can babysit ourselves. What are you doing to me, Sharon? You just acting like you don't have any feelings, any emotion, or any empathy, compassion. Have you heard of those words, honey? Anyway, so, Sharon, Sage don't believe it because, like I said, she already goes and tell her she already overheard the conversation what she had. But it is what it is. Then we go to a commercial. We come back. We have the nice little Phyllis Abbott going over there to visit Billy to see if she can get the 411 on why he's needing this money. Okay, pretty much he goes on straight out and tell him, look, this is what I needed money for. She takes it back to Jack. Jack ain't even having it, but it is what it is. We move on from that scene. We go back to Ben, Max, and Abby. Okay, I pretty much fast forwarded that one because we had said that he took Ben out. He took Max out of the situation. And they went to find a place to stay, and he ended up at the athletic club. So we go from there, and we go back to Sage and Sharon. They both still fussing about what's right, what's wrong, who did who wrong, who did, who's tried to stop the investigation to try to hide evidence of misbehavior and this, that, and the other. And pretty much Sage is just picking Nikki lies up and sending them down and just making a mess out of her. And Nikki gets defensive. Not Nikki, Sharon gets defensive, and she just be like, I can't let you take the baby, you can't destroy it. I having so many lies already been destroyed. And see, that right there told me Sharon had disconnected from the world. She's into her other personality. And she's not taking her medication. She can't be taking her medication because she's thinking irrational, illogical, and just everything. I don't know what's wrong with her, Lord. Okay, anyway, we go back to a commercial. We go back to Abby and Dylan. She's asking pretty much Dylan to don't look at it as a friend situation. Go back in his cop mind and just review a lot of things because a lot of things are just not making sense. She told him what she felt about the child and how the child just has been running amok. And, Ben is always taking his side because she feels he's grieving, and he's grieving through his son that he definitely has physically on this earth, and he's just not understanding what she's saying because he thinks that she's just grieving and she's not thinking right in her mind, but her mind is very clear, crystal if you must. And she's just asking him from a friend to a friend of the family, just please check into it and see is that logical. Put your detective cop mind to work. And so he's looking at her like, okay, I hear what you're saying. All right. Okay, I'm going to do that. So that's how he takes it. And she leaves. We go to Phyllis and Jack. Phyllis asks, okay, we had fast forwarded that. I told you she was over at Billy's house and trying to get the 411 on him after they had dinner together. And he was asking Jack to sell some of his shares so he can get the money to do whatever with it. She finds out what that information was about. She takes it back to Jack, like I said. But she said there's some news you don't want to hear, but it is what it is. Let's go with it. So we go back to Victoria and Billy. Billy done sashayed his behind over to Newman Enterprises, and he just so smiling at Vicky, like, I got something you want. It was your baby. So he just says he just sat and bought him a company called Brash and Sassy, and he know what it means to Victoria. So he kind of got leverage on her to either get her back in his life or I don't know what the consolation prize is. But she looking at him like he done lost his goddamn mind. He paid double because she had changed the bid that they had to sell her company. It needed to be double what it was worth. Who knows? It could have been triple millions by now. We don't know. But Billy came up with the funds and he still was able to acquire her company. So, okay, she is pissy hot mad at this point. But, you know, like I said, we move from there. We go to the last and final scene. We got Sharon. She's trying to get the hell out of there. The hell out of Dodge before Dylan gets home. Or Nicholas comes over there raising hell. And they want her to provide this wonderful excuse of why all of this happened. Under their noses, okay? And she like, she got the baby in the car. And she's trying to catch up with Sage. Because Sage had left maybe a good 10 minutes on her. But honey, Sharon was running down the highway and the byways like she had lost her mind. I'm like, baby, do you realize you have a little one in the car? If you don't care shits about your own life, what about caring about the baby? I mean, he may be buckled up, but one little sharp turn, you go you know, all over the yard or all over the grass or all over the land somewhere, and then you know the car gonna be towed up. We don't know what's going to happen to the baby. Could have got ejected from the car. But no, you ain't caring about all that. But you say you love this baby. But you're doing high speeds that can definitely endanger you. With any lack of concentration focusing on the road. And then you have a tire can blow out. You know, you're not thinking. Because I'm thinking she's driving like 90 miles to 100 miles per hour trying to catch up with Miss Sage. But she does see her in the far distance that she did catch up. So she kind of slow it up a little bit. But of course we take a little image picture of their showing us the view in her car, which is Sage, and she's trying to call and leave a nice message for her husband. And you know, it's kind of like not garbage, but garbled, like jumbled words, whatever, because she's emotional, she's crying, she's scared, and all this, that, and the other. So I don't know if she gonna really hear anything when he gets the message, meaning Nicholas. But somehow her phone drops from her hand and hits the floor. She goes to pick it up, meaning taking her eye off of the road. And when she gets back up, you know, to continue looking where she's going, she done ran into something, and she done ejected herself out the car, and now she's laying face down. Like I saw blood or whatever. But then Sharon, you know, watches the whole thing unfolds. She's like, oh my goodness, oh my gracious. So she gets there. I don't know how long it takes her because it went on to commercial, then it went off. But the images that they were trying to show us, that's going to happen for tomorrow's episode on the 29th, which is Friday. They have her at the scene. She's calling in the accident, but Sage is not moving or saying anything. So I look forward to seeing what that was all about, and whether Sharon's still going to try to come clean. Who knows? And possibly we may be seeing the issue of Sage might be having amnesia, or maybe don't even know who she is. And, you know, instead of, you know, Sharon doing the darn thing and just telling people on the spot about the information she had transpired about baby Christian and baby Sullivan, I'm sure she's not going to do it. She's still going to try to keep that secret, which is going to be a hot mess. But you all, that was the Young and the Restless for April 28th, 2016. That aired at 3 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I hope you enjoyed it. I look forward to talking with you again and narrating for you tomorrow. So check the channel out on the 29th, guys, for more Young and the Restless. Take care. God bless. Be well. And good night.